Hey everyone, welcome back to The New Critic. Today we're going to be looking at Season 2 of Supernatural. So following the events of Season 1, Sam and Dean are in a race against time to stop the demon Azazel from opening the gates of hell and unleashing more demons upon the earth. But there are all types of other dangers along the way. So from what I've seen, a lot of people prefer the previous season over this season. Well, I disagree. I actually prefer this season. If you want to know why exactly, well, you came to the right place. So Season 2 has a little bit more to offer compared to Season 1. Why? It introduces new characters like Bobby Singer. He did have an appearance towards the end of the first season, but here he has more screen time and he's gone on to become one of my favorite characters in the entire series. And I love how often he uses the terms balls and idiots.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I can see you're out of ace for a taste of your whiskey. I'll give you some advice. You got to know when to hold up.
Just look out for your brother, you idiot.
I forgot I promised that idiot Rufus I'd worked phones for him, so. Idiot.
It also introduces Azazel in his physical form, which we never really got to see in Season 1. The performances were great as usual. Just like Season 1, Season 2 is very horror-centric, although it does have a bit more to offer. It maintains the same visual style as Season 1, the action is great as usual, it's very suspenseful, but most importantly, this is where the show became a bit more experimental and more creative with some of its Monster of the Week and filler episodes. And there's actually a few more fun filler episodes that I'll recommend, but we'll get to that in a bit. The premiere episode was an incredible way to start, and even though it picked up where Season 1's cliffhanger left off, I still have an issue with that particular cliffhanger, no matter how good the Season 2 premiere was. And the finale was amazing, and I kinda wish that Season 1's finale played out in a similar fashion. Now unfortunately this season is not perfect. My biggest issue is that the second half is where the main story kind of drags, and it could have done with less filler episodes and more of Azazel, because he's not really in the season as much as I would have liked, despite him being the main antagonist. In fact, there's a lot in the second half that you can skip, although there are some fun filler episodes that I can definitely recommend. Another thing I forgot to mention is that if you're a fan of the show, you'll know that the original plan for Supernatural was the first 5 seasons, but the show kept going because, well, it was really popular. In fact, Eric Kripke, who created the show, intended for the first 5 seasons to actually be 3 seasons, but they were dragged out to 5 seasons instead because, well, every TV show has a 5-year plan. And when you go back and watch the first 2 seasons, it's obvious that seasons 1 and 2 were meant to be a single season. So here's a list of what to watch and what to skip. And there's a few other minor flaws as well, some of the editing, some of the visual effects, especially in the finale. I mean, the finale was pretty expensive, and the fact that the budget wasn't big enough kind of shows, but that's my only gripe with that particular episode. There's also one episode in particular that I really don't like, even though it's important. It's episode 9, and it's filled with some of the worst action scenes I've ever seen. It's filmed with this horrible slow-mo in place, followed by some clunky editing, and the big reveal is so obvious. But the real kicker for me is the ending of that episode. It hints at something that we're gonna find out, and they drag it out to the next episode, which is kind of annoying, and that's one of my least favorite episodes in the entire show. It should have been something you can skip, but there are some important details in there, which is kind of frustrating. So yeah, that was my review of Season 2 of Supernatural, and it's definitely worth checking out, and I think it's better than Season 1, because it has a bit more to offer. Apologies if this review is a little bit shorter than expected. It's because, well, it's very hard to talk about Season 2 without going into spoilers, and I really don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't watched it. And by some miracle, I managed to avoid copyright from YouTube with my Season 1 review. So, yay to me. Let's just hope I can do it again. Next time we will be looking at Season 3, the shortest season in the entire series, but we'll talk about that next time. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe, and hit the notification icon. My goal of 1,000 subscribers, I'm still sticking with that because that's a good way to start. And yeah, stay safe during this time, and I'll see you soon.